we're back. This is John Winters with the Business Today radio program. We're talking with David Sussman and Brent Kahlen, and we're talking about Valcor's licensee training program. We're talking about a great business opportunity as well as a great business for businesses that have debts. I'm here with David Sussman, president of Valcor, and Brent Kahlen, the executive director of Valcor. And we've been talking about this magic of taking businesses that have a real problem with a huge debt and solving their problem. And just a few minutes ago, we were talking about how individuals out there could get into this business, make six-figure income, working without a huge inventory, without selling all sorts of products, and they don't need a lot of money to start up. The training can be as fast as 7 days. This is incredible. Now, this almost sounds too good to be true, but I guess it must be true. You've been doing it since 1994. Have there been some success stories where you can tell us about someone who's taken this on? And, well, I know there's one sitting right here with Brent Kahlen. You started this business, and you've done very well for yourself.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, in the earlier part of our conversations here, we were talking about how we do have affiliates we've trained that will go home and start up, and they'll be doing fine. And talk to an affiliate, and he'd say, "Oh yeah, I've been in business for a little over 3 months now. I went right home, started up in that first week." He says, "We give a 2-week setup period to say, here's what you do in week 1, here's what you do the first day, the second day, the third day. It takes a couple weeks to set up." What he says, I did it all in 1 week. I didn't want to wait 2 weeks. He set it up, and he said in a little over 3 months, he'd already taken in $50,000 in fees that he had earned, by just starting his business. And so that's where the proof is. It's in our affiliates that we've trained who have gone out and done what we've taught them. So we know our intensive training works, and we know our follow-up technical support works.
Well, I like the idea that you're working for yourself. You can tell your boss goodbye and not working for another person or another company. You're on your own. You take your own hours, and if you do this program step by step, it seems to work. Tell us a little bit more about the training. David?
Well, one of the reasons that our affiliates are so successful is because we qualify them before we train them. We don't just take everybody that wants to take the training. It's important to us from, number one standpoint as a company with integrity, that we're not just selling a business opportunity to anybody that wants it. This is a specialized business. And so we put our potential affiliates through a screening process. And the screening process requires that we interview them. We spend some time speaking with them on the telephone. We get to know them, much in a way that you would be applying for a job. We only want to bring people on who are motivated, who can follow a proven program, and who understand that you need goals and discipline to be successful in any business. Again, as I mentioned to you, John, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You've got to follow our proven systems. Now, so number one, that's one of the reasons why our affiliates are successful, because of the pre-screening. Once they go through the training, they receive the 2-day training and then 12 months of follow-up and support. There are also areas where we call it, you can work for yourself but not by yourself. And for example, there's one area, and it's a program that we have called the Merged Account Program, or the MA program. The Merged Account Program is where an affiliate will find a case that is large enough where they, let's just say the fear factor kicks in a little bit. Okay, they're somewhat newer in this. They may be doing it for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and they want to ensure that they're going to close the case because it's a considerable fee. And we will basically take over the case. We split the fee with our affiliate 50-50, and in fact, on many cases, we've been able to refund out of our half of the fee the initial training cost for our affiliate. So in essence, by the time the affiliate has done a merged account, or a couple, depending upon the size, they have in fact started up their own business with absolutely zero investment.
Now, when you're talking about these fees, that again, they're based on results, which makes it very easy to show someone what you can do for them rather than trying to sell them something with upfront money. I assume you have a written contract. Does your company, Valcor, do they provide these documents and show them what to say and what's in the documents so that everyone is...
All documents contracts, agreements, and I should say agreements, not contracts. We provide all marketing materials. We show you how to get your business up and running and present yourself to your community.
Outlines of the phone calls, what to
Scripts.
say when you make those calls, initially to a potential client and then to the creditor or the collection agency or the attorney that you need to negotiate, what to say in those negotiations. Everything is laid out step by step all the way through to the close and the settlement.
Well, it sounds pretty hands-on, too. This isn't one of those seminars where there's 1,000 or 2,000 people in a huge hotel ballroom eating rubber chicken. It's more
No.
hands-on. As I say, you divide it up, and you're not doing this on a mass scale.
I can't guarantee rubber chicken won't be served, but at the same time, it's a small
We try our
group.
best.
We do try our best.
But what I can say is that unlike a lot of these other quote-unquote seminars that you speak of where they have large numbers of people attending, a lot of those, if you've ever attended those, there's a lot of filler that doesn't really get to the point or the meat of what they are saying they're going to teach you or help you to understand. When we say we have a 2-day intensive training seminar, it is very intensive. I mean, you would have to take it to understand how intensive it is. But
No, I'm getting motivated
it
to
works.
think
We know
about
it
that.
works. We've done it.
Now, I'm looking at some of the literature here. It's a vast client market. It's growing. In other words, there's plenty of businesses out there that need your help. There's no previous experience required, although, you do qualify. You've got to be motivated. You've got to be able to communicate. This is a professional business, one of the things I like about it. No inventory to maintain. And this is the one that really caught my eye. Pre-qualified clients who need the service, no blind prospecting. You're not just simply a telemarketer trying to run into this. There's a proven methods of how to find the clients that need the service. Is that right?
There are always businesses in trouble, and we know how to find those businesses. And it doesn't involve cold calling.
That's fantastic, because the last thing I want to do is get involved in cold calling. The other thing I like about this is that this is something that you would be proud to tell your family and your friends that you do. You're in the financial services. You're negotiating with big businesses, finance, debt, CPAs, attorneys.
It's prestigious. It's ethical. There's a tremendous amount of integrity in what we do. And as I mentioned to you, John, at the end of the day, I mean, when you sit back and take a look at all businesses, most businesses are transactional, and you go in and you're trying to sell your product or your service. We're doing something for our communities. We're providing something back. I mean, you've got to make a living today. And a lot of people out there, especially sales executives or professional executives or real estate executives, financial service, whoever it may be, attorneys, you're working hard because you need to make a living. And at the end of the day, you always think to yourself, I wish I could spend more time giving back to the community, giving to charity or providing a service to whatever it may be that will enable somebody else to be better off because of you. We are providing a service business that not only pays the bills and then some, but we're also enabling companies to stay in business that would otherwise had been, in many cases, had to go bankrupt. They would have had to lay off all of those employees. Those employees have families, kids in school, medical bills to pay, mortgages to pay, and we're seeing that happening right now. I mean, the unemployment figures are just going through the roof.
Well, as I listen to what you're saying, it seems like this is a service that businesses need. They're not used to these times when all of a sudden everything tightens up, and they may be running their business perfectly correctly, and then one of the people that they do business with owes them money. They don't get paid. Now all of a sudden they can't pay their creditors, and they have no way of knowing how to deal with this other than, well, I better call an attorney. You're saying that you can come into a situation like that without attorneys, without CPAs, and help them, and they don't have to pay unless it works.
That's right.
I tell you, this is sounding better and better. And if you're a business out there and you've got a debt, you might want to contact them. And if you're somebody looking for a business, it sure seems like something that might be a way to go if you can communicate. You have to be good with numbers, too, I would imagine. It sounds like you do quite an intensive evaluation of the debt and who is owed to and how much and their ability to repay.
Again, that's all part of the training.
But I guess you have to be able to add and subtract and multiply, but it's not calculus.
No, and we keep things simple. You don't have to be a CPA to understand complicated financial statements. It's just a basic, simple, straightforward, financial analysis that we go through and put it on paper and show how to use that as part of the negotiation tool.
It doesn't take a lot to see that a company is either A, insolvent, or B, their liabilities are higher than their assets. And once you have that information, you know exactly what's going on and what the big picture is here. No, it's very rewarding. It's rewarding for us as a company to provide that service to the community, and it's rewarding for the companies because we go in and, as we discussed, provide that service, full contingency. Let me just say, however, we're not a law firm. And we don't take businesses away or a business away from attorneys who may already have a client that they're doing a restructuring for. In many cases, we negotiate directly with attorneys, and in many cases, we provide business leads to attorneys and vice versa. We work in conjunction with them. But if an attorney is already representing a client, a debtor client, and in most situations, we won't move forward with that unless they need our services.
Right. Boy, I'll tell you, everything I hear about this sounds really fantastic. I really enjoyed the part about how you can help the community, because we are in unprecedented times here, in the sense that there's a lot of job loss. There's a slowing of the financing business with the loans, the credit crunch as they call it, these toxic assets. And everyone's thinking, gee, what do I do in a climate like this? And yet it sounds like this is tailor-made for your services.
Well, you're right, and what is different about the downturn this time is there's no more equity in a business owner's home to refinance that home and pull out some money for settlement purposes, and there's no lines of credit available like there were in the past for a business owner to draw on. So, the negotiation process to work out situations with creditors is now more important than ever.
Well, it sounds like you've really got it figured out. Now, again, let's give that website. This is the best way to contact you, and that website is?
Well, it's valcorusa.com. Valcor, V as in victory, ALCOR, USA.com. And also, we have a toll-free number. It's 1-877, the number 2, Valcor. 2 Valcor, 1-877-2 Valcor. And if you want to take a look at the website, and the affiliate training program is actually a link on the website. There's a lot of information and material there. There's actually some interviews with many of our affiliates on there on video, and you could kind of peruse through that. And there's an area where you could fill in some information and send it to us to let us know that you have an interest, and we can take it from there.
And I want to go back to this one more time. You take the training. It's geared to set you right up. You do extremely well and land a big one, and that person that's working with you can call you up and get direct help, exactly what to say in these bigger cases?
Yes. It's
because I'd want that when I first started out, to know that you guys are back behind me there to, you're dealing with some pretty big numbers maybe, and on your first deal or your first couple of deals. How many
zeros does it take behind the number to make a person?
But you're there for them,
and we're there to back them up all the way.
Can back them up, and as I said, valcorusa.com is the website, and the toll-free number 877 the number 2 VALCOR 877-2 Valcor. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us so we could share this with our audience out there. We love to talk about the financing world. We love to talk about businesses that are successful, and I think we found one today. Valcor is quite a company, quite a product, and it's a way to, one, help the community and save business, and two, might be a professional career that you want to take up on your own. And give Valcor a call or visit their website today. I'll give you that number one more time, 877, the number 2, VALCOR, 877-2 Valcor, or valcorusa.com. You're listening to the Business Today radio program with John Winters. David Sussman and Brent Kahlen are talking about the Valcor licensee training program, and we'll be right back with more after this.